He has no mercy for anybody on the court, not even kids. During a game against Golden State, after scoring a point, he didn't even give a face to the little kids on the sidelines who gave him a high five. Even though they were wearing the opposing team's jersey, these kids didn't show him any disrespect. He could have waited until the evening if the opposing player hadn't come to the defense. We've seen this tactic a lot, but I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. Morant, who has recently been in the spotlight with his gun incidents, is undoubtedly one of the strangest and most talented stars ever. If you want to get to know Ja Morant better, you can listen to 10 strange things that even he doesn't know here. The monster athlete who threw down the dunks you've been watching didn't dunk until his senior year of high school. Most of NBA stars can dunk even in junior high school, but for Morant it was the opposite. He was a very slow and clumsy guard. In fact, according to his own words, he could only dunk 1 out of 25 dunks, and that one was half-assed, but in the next 2 to 3 years after his senior year of high school, he improved tremendously and Morant reached Superman-like jumpers in this period. As is well known, sports websites or organizations such as ESPN assign power, points, and stars to young high school and college talents in their databases. If he has 5 stars, he will be a top pick in NBA drafts and can become a star. Morant did not even have 3 stars in these lists in terms of potential. He wasn't even a 2-star player that nobody would even look at. He wasn't famous and he wasn't well known, but he played on the same team many times with Zion Williamson, who was ranked number 1 in college. So he came to the top of NBA literally from the bottom, just like his dunking journey. The team Morant played for in college was Murray State. This college team organized a camp. James Kane, the assistant coach of the team, was taking a lunch break during the camp to see someone completely different. Morant, meanwhile, was in the next room playing a 3-on-3 one-pot game with his friends. On his way to the lunch break, Kane saw Morant playing with his mates, liked him, showed him to the coach, and Morant was offered a scholarship. Thanks to a lunch break and a simple one-possession game, Morant's NBA journey began. "God bless the lunch break," he said afterwards. Morant is very attached to his family. He even has tattoos of his mother's advice on his body. For example, on his left arm, one of his mother's advice is written, "Beneath no one." We always said Morant was lucky, like he wasn't working out. But according to Morant's high school coach, who also coached Ray Allen, Morant used to train intensely with the team, then go home and train with his father. His former coach says Morant spent a lot of time in the training court. He would always ask about the availability of the court, and after he finished his indoor practice, he would go to the open court and continue to work on his shooting there. By the way, his father was also a basketball player and a former teammate of Ray Allen. I think that's the weirdest thing. Ja Morant has a day to himself, and it's recognized at the state level. 10 August is Ja Morant Day. Morant's birthday was declared a special day in the state of South Carolina because he was named Rookie of the Year. We don't know if anyone celebrates this day. He also has a giraffe named after him. The Memphis Zoo named one of its newborn baby giraffes after Morant. There is also a much talked about gun incident related to Morant. Briefly, Morant opens a live broadcast on Instagram with a gun in his hand while going to a nightclub. Of course, there is no problem with him being drunk or going to a nightclub, but having a gun in his hand is a big problem. NBA makes money on these stars, and as they make money, their slightest behavior can also cause losses. For example, the involvement of Memphis' biggest star in such an incident may have caused who knows how many big companies not to advertise in Memphis. After this incident, Ja Morant was immediately investigated by NBA and the police. Nothing came out of the police investigation, and it turned out that the gun belonged to someone else. Morant was given an 8-game suspension by NBA, but he could have received a bigger penalty if the gun belonged to him. In the past, Gilbert Arenas was suspended for 50 games for bringing a gun into the locker room. Almost a season. For something like that to happen, for a 23-year-old player to be suspended for a season, it would be the end of his career. There's another thing about Morant. Morant plays basketball at his house with a 17-year-old boy. He's 23. This boy could also be his friend. While playing basketball, an argument suddenly broke out and physical scuffles started. In this incident, it was claimed that Morant carried the gun and even beat the boy at home. This incident was on the agenda for a while. Then in 2022, he threatened a security guard at a shopping center. At the end of the game against Indiana on New Year's Eve, after the players boarded their buses, just as they were about to leave the arena without any problems, a gun laser was pointed at Indiana's team bus from the Memphis bus carrying Ja Morant. Indiana basketball players claimed that the laser was attached to a gun. Therefore, the NBA began an in-depth investigation of the incident. After the investigation, the NBA management admitted that a laser was pointed at the Indian players, but said that they could not confirm that anyone threatened them with a gun. The incident was dismissed in this way, but according to the statement, there was a strange situation. Morant's friend, who was sitting on the same bus with him at the time, was suspended from all NBA games for a year. In a match, Morant just pointed and laughed at a fan while he was on the pitch, then he was thrown out of the game. Even the people watching the match didn't really understand what was going on. There was no swearing, no hand gesture, but Morant was suddenly kicked off the court. Morant left the court, went to the dressing room, and then called the fan he was talking to on FaceTime. In a video call with the fan, he called the referee a hoe. Even though Morant was still young, he certainly had his sights set high. During a program, he was asked, "What would have happened if you were in the same era as Jordan?" Morant's answer was, "I would have cooked him." He was everywhere confidently claiming that he could beat Jordan one-on-one. Of course he could. He could even beat LeBron, Jordan, and many others in a one-on-one match, but what was being discussed here was the fact that he spoke so simply and confidently about a legend who ended his career at before he was even born. According to some, this shows that he had his sights set high, and according to others, he was being disrespectful. So where do you think Morant will be when he finishes his career? Where do you see him? We are waiting for your thoughts in the comments. Thus, we have come to the end of our video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye to see you in another video.